Hey guys, it's Saria. Welcome back to my channel and another day of Vlogmas. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make this Peppermint Lollipop Mickey Topiary. I kind of got inspired to make these after I made these peppermint ears. I just realized that Hobby Lobby not only had the smaller ones. I'm sorry, my baby's playing in her jumper behind the camera. Anyway, Hobby Lobby had a larger peppermint and then these size peppermints as well. They do come in a like white base and a red base. I chose the red one for the topiary and the white ones for my ears. I will have the tutorial for the ears linked in the description box below and probably in a card above if you want to check it out. I'm sorry guys. Without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. So to start off, you are going to need these lollipops from Hobby Lobby, a larger one and two of the smaller ones. I'm using a mason jar from Dollar Tree to hold it, a styrofoam block that my friend Erica actually sent me in a random box. If you want to see me unbox it, it's in the description box below. My Waverly chalk paint in white. I would suggest using chalk paint and not acrylic paint for this. A wide paintbrush from Walmart. A hot glue gun and hot glue sticks, some sort of skewer to replace the broken one on mine, and wire cutters to cut the skewer. And then you're also going to need stuffing to kind of cover up that green styrofoam that we're using. And then I found this really cute candy cane twine from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to start off by painting my mason jar white using that Waverly chalk paint. Acrylic paint will not cover this, and the Waverly chalk paint usually does need 2 coats when I've done this. But with 2 coats it does get completely covered. Again, acrylic paint, every time I've tried to do it, it does not come out looking very nice. The Waverly chalk paint is $1.67 at Walmart, so not that much more, and honestly you're going to use a lot less of it because it is such a thick paint. Once you have your jar all painted, you can set it off to the side to dry. Do make sure it is completely dry. I usually let mine dry overnight before doing the second coat. Moving on to the lollipop, I'm going to, that's the note from Erica, fun fact. I'm going to start out by removing the skewers from these. I'm going to pull the bows off, but I didn't want to damage them because I do end up using one of the bows, and I just used the one that I thought looked the best. I'm just going ahead and cutting off the tags, and then I am going to cut off these skewers as well, but not all of the way on the little ones. So do leave a little bit of a nub because we're actually going to use that to stick into this styrofoam lollipop. I am putting a little bit of hot glue on the end and then finding kind of where I think it looks best positioned and then just shoving it right in there. And I'm doing the same thing on the other side. The reason for the hot glue is because it will keep it very secure inside, as opposed to the ears just slipping off after time has passed. Now I'm clipping off the bottom of my broken skewer and using a new one from this random donut floral thing that I got from Michael's that I'm using in a future craft video. Hopefully you can find one without a damaged skewer already in it, but I had to replace mine. If you do need to replace it, you can also just use dowel rods. They do sell them at Dollar Tree if you are looking for them, and you can get a pack of them as opposed to just one. So after getting that in there, I'm going in with my twine and just kind of wrapping it around. This is absolutely optional and really not necessary, but I just thought it added a cute little touch, and I did already have this on hand from a previous craft. And then I'm just going to clip off the excess, wrap it around a few times, and then hot glue it into place on the top and the bottom. So now I'm going to go in and re-add one of those red bows. I just picked the one that I thought looked the nicest. and I'm tightening it into position, and then I'm also going to take my scissors and give it like a fancier bottom, because the bottoms were kind of fraying. So I just fold it in half, and as it's pinched, I cut it, and it gives it that little upside down V on the bottom. I'm adding a little dot of hot glue to the back of the bow, and then just firmly pressing it down underneath my little Mickey Mouse Lollipop, because he needs a bow tie, obviously. So going back to my mason jar, I'm going to take this Dollar Tree Mod Podge in Glossy and a random paintbrush that I have. I do have to switch paintbrushes mid-painting this because all of the bristles were falling out and getting stuck in the Mod Podge on my jar, which is not what I wanted. So I'm just going in with a layer of Mod Podge to make sure that this paint stays nice and doesn't chip and has a really pretty glossy effect to it. And then again, this is optional, going in with that candy cane striped twine, which I actually found in the craft section, not in the Christmas section. I'm putting a little dot of hot glue and dabbing down my twine, and then I'm just going to add a little line so that as I wrap it around, it's kind of getting caught in that hot glue. Because the rim of the mason jar has like a edge so that the top will screw on, it doesn't perfectly lay flat if you just wrap it around. So I would suggest kind of, if when you get gaps, just go in with a little bit of hot glue, lay it down, and then just continue wrapping that yarn all the way around until you have the whole thing covered the way that you want it. And then I did decide to tie a little string bow and add this to the front. So I'm just tying a little piece of twine into a cute little bow, and then I'm just going to hot glue that on to where the other twine is on the jar. And then I'm just going to go ahead and snip off the excess so that it is even on both sides. And that's pretty much it for the jar. So next we are going to go, and I had to trim down my styrofoam cube quite a bit because it was much too large. I am going to cut some of this out just because it's kind of boring. Did decide to add a hot glue to the bottom of my styrofoam and then press it down into the jar just to secure it a little bit more. And then I go in with stuffing, the same stuffing that I use to make Mickey ears, or if you make pillows or stuffed animals, anything like that. I just take that stuffing and put it in along the sides in order to really reinforce the gaps along the styrofoam. And then I added just a little bit on top because honestly, I just kind of thought it looked cute, and it covered up the ugly green styrofoam. And that was the last step. This is what it looks like when it's all done. It's so sparkly and festive and delicious looking, and it's Mickey, so what could be better than that? Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you have any questions, as always, leave them for me in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!